We're in Dunedin, in a place called Tinaru, which is about 30 minutes out of Dunedin. It's a little blue house, is what we call it, and right close to the beach, our little coastal slice of heaven. It's really been our sort of safe haven since we've had Skylar. You know, has everything that we could ever wish for. The beach right out the front and another beach just down the road. The hills in the back, and yeah, a tiny little space for us to enjoy with Skylar and get the sun rays when they're there. Pregnancy was amazing for me. I had an amazing pregnancy. I actually even raced through my pregnancy. I was doing the vertical kilometre series, which was mainly out in Europe, and had some not so great races and some really good races for being very early on in my pregnancy. You're never prepared for a baby, I don't think. You don't know what's going to happen. Every child is different, every pregnancy is different, every birth is different, and I guess my world was just flipped. I no longer had the ability to just go out and enjoy the sunshine whenever I wanted. You know, I was now responsible for this little tiny human who needed me all the time and needed me to be right there all the time, and I found it really, really hard. I definitely had some postnatal depression, which was something I'd never battled with, and so I was going through this anxiety and depression, and I was like, well, what is this? How do you deal with this? And it's not something that people talk about or show. So this was sort of this whole new me that I was learning to cope with. And I'd read something really nice that said, when a new baby is born, a new mother is born. And you don't think about that, but you realize that, oh, actually, I'm not that person at all anymore. I'm this new person, and I've got to find new pathways forward, and I'm not getting that body back, and I'm not getting that life back. I've got to create this new life now with Skylar, with my relationship, with my running. And so every day you're learning something new again about, oh, okay, so this is this new body, this is what it can do, and this is what it can't do. And being okay with that acceptance of, oh wow, I'm a new person, and I'm going forward on this journey with this little person with me. After the birth of Skylar, physically I was in a bit of a mess. I had a C-section, so you're going through this traumatic major surgery and trying to build back. And you know, I had 36 years of working a strong core, you know, from when I was a baby, running around, to playing hockey when I was 6, to, you know, rowing when I was 16, and doing triathlon when I was 20. And for all of those years you build and build and build on this endurance and strength and core stability, and all of a sudden that's completely gone. And not just, you know, with pregnancy, or not just with a C-section, but with injury, or if you're starting up running for the first time, all of these muscles have to grow and build. And that's not just like 2 weeks of core strength. No, it's years and years and years of like making sure that everything's in balance and getting that stronger and stronger through consistency and persistence of getting that core strong. So for me, after the baby, you know, I was tired. I just wanted to go out for a run, and so I started running, and I guess I probably had some mum power in there, you know, whatever that is. And so I just sort of kept running, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I progressed my time. But I wasn't doing the core strength, and I wasn't doing the rehab, and I wasn't doing all of those small little things that build a strong foundation. And so the battle for me was just sort of the cycle that I'd get an imbalance. I wouldn't do the rehab, and I'd keep running. And so my fitness that, you know, has been sort of ingrained carried me through. And it wasn't until I really realized that unless I stop and go back to the basics of getting this imbalance corrected, I'm not going to be able to run further. You know, for me, unless the whole body is strong, you can't be a strong runner. It's not about just legs. You've got to have arms and shoulders and back and core and ankles. And so I have always really worked on standing strength, like in yoga when you're doing balances, or warrior poses where you're just standing and holding in a really low, strong, long pose. I find just gets those really, really deep muscles, and it really helps to strengthen that without any impact of high intensity jumps or plyometrics or, you know, box jumps. You can get so strong through any of those sort of deep strength yoga positions. And then weights, I definitely recommend, single hand dumbbell weights with lunges, single leg actions, so that you're sort of mimicking a running motion and working on that, on the single leg strength and balance, because anytime you're going on trails and even on road, a twisted ankle is the most frustrating thing. So to be able to keep strong ankles can save you in so many situations. I really love body weight workouts, so whether that's press-ups or mountain climbers or core strength, side planks, there's so many different core exercises that really help build the whole body. Cross training for me, not only is it really good for the body to work in different directions, like paddle boarding where you're focusing on sort of a twist, or kayaking, hiking in the mountains, I just think is so underrated and underestimated, and the power of hiking is just amazing. You can go the distances, there isn't the impact, your legs are long and strong in the contractions, you can take your poles to really power it out, and it's wonderful. You get to be out in the outdoors, you can take the kid, you can take lots of kids, and just really take a picnic, enjoy having a really long day out without the impact that running often does. You can't go wrong doing anything that fills you up, and I guess most importantly, you're passionate about. I think that goes back to everything, about running, is that why are you running? What is your reason for running? And for me, it's because I love running. I was reminded that I run because I love it, not because of anything else, any of the other pressures or social media or, anything else, which is really easy to get pulled into. I was reminded that I run because I love it. And when you realize that, running becomes so much easier. The training becomes easier. Cross training becomes important because you realize that you need that to follow your passion.